Can you feel what the rock is cooking? What you need out in the building? How is everybody doing? I'm going to talk a little bit about Tank versus Leo. Been watching some of Leo's fights, not a whole lot, just a little bit of Leo's fights, as well as I was watching a little bit of Tank's fights. And I gotta say, man, Leo's style complements Tank's style. Leo's got a high throughput, and Tank's a guy. He don't throw that much. He don't throw that much, right? He's a smart fighter. He looks for the options. He looks for the spaces. He'll look in between your shots and throw. Tank, I'm gonna say this right now. There's a lot of hype on Tank, but really, how Tank knocks out his opponents is sharpshooting. A lot of people think Tank got a lot more power than he really does. It's his timing and his sharpness, that really make Tank what he is. He's explosive, he's sharp. He's kind of like Teal. Teal's not really a power puncher. He's sharp, he's accurate, and his timing's great. That's what Tank breaks noses, but Tank don't really break bones, right? He don't have that bone-crushing, pulverizing power like a Gennady Golovkin or Sergey Kovalev. But his quickness, the sharpness of his punch. You know what Tank's like? He's like a Zab Judah. Tank, Teal a little bit heavier handed, but Tank's like a Zab Judah. Okay? So let me break this down. This is gonna be a hell of a fight between Tank and Leo. I'm gonna tell you all that right now. Leo also looks big. He looks big and strong. And Leo's got a decent defense. He's got that long, high guard defense that goes all the way down to the bottom of his body. And sometimes he uses a peekaboo. He be peeking in between it. You know what I'm saying? Leo's style. Leo really has a good shot at beating Tank. I know this sounds crazy, but I've been looking at Leo. I've been looking at Tank. Somebody's commenting in the chat section. Let me see what you guys saying. KP from KC. Zab was explosive. Yeah, Zab wasn't really the typical power puncher. He wasn't no Ernie Schaefer's. He wasn't no George Foreman. Those guys got heavy bone density, and they just powerful. Tank, Zab, they are sharpshooters. They actually very sharp with the punches. Actually, Mayweather was like that before his hands broke. Very sharp punches. Very, very sharp punches. Very precise, sharp punches. And they actually have to set up their KOs. Tank hits with a lot of power. It's very explosive. And even Teofimo Lopez is more of an explosive puncher than anything else. The problem with going to Leo, what Tank is going to find out is Leo, it's kind of harder to go to Leo's body because Leo protects his body very, very well, right? You're going to have to split his guard to get to his body. Leo's actually a very tough opponent that Tank's about to face. Now, everybody focusing on the fact that Leo came up from bantamweight. He's not a bantamweight anymore, folks. So we can let that go. He's not even a featherweight anymore. He's a super featherweight. And if y'all was watching at his fight against Flores, can't remember what his first name was. When he was at fight against Flores, y'all would have seen, right? Y'all would have seen that Leo actually dealing with a style that's a boxer style, like Tank, elusive, defensive, pot shotting style. Now, let me tell you why this fight is Leo's. This could be a fight that favors Leo. Leo is exceptionally good and actually pretty accurate in when he throws at going to the body. Tank is going to have to protect his body because Leo is going to go on an all-out body attack. One of the moves that Leo hits you with is he'll throw a straight right followed by a left hook, okay? Leo got many different combinations, and he really does have solid defense. Simple defense, but solid. And he also works off his stick. So Leo's a guy fundamentally sound, very, very strong. How do we know Leo's a very strong fighter? And how we know when Leo goes into this fight, he's going to be very strong? First things first, Leo has never been dropped in his career. He hasn't even been dropped in his career. Everybody's focused on Tank. Everybody's saying Tank is this big, strong, powerful guy. He's going to be too much for Leo. And people are forgetting Leo has never been dropped in his career. Never dropped. In fact, Leo's never been wobbled in his career. That should tell you how strong Leo is. And that's the thing that a lot of people are not factoring into this equation. Not only is Leo mentally strong, but he has the conditioning to back it up. He's always been a well conditioned boxer. Here's another thing that Leo has going for him. He's the more active fighter of the two. Tank is not as active as Leo is. I'm telling y'all, this is a serious threat for Tank at 130. And remember, Tank is going back down to 130. Okay? We don't know if Tank made the weight yet. Right? Those are very important points for people to understand. Okay? Tank is a sharp shooter. I know Tank can fight off the back foot and can fight his ass off. He can box off his ass too. But if his defense is not up to par, Leo's defense is solid. If his defense is not up to par, see, to break down Leo, you got to go to his body. And Leo gives you no free shots. None. You earn every shot you have with Leo. I'm telling y'all now. Leo ain't no joke. He gets that elbow right in the way. When you try to throw that left hook, he catches it. He blocks it. And he's very quick on defense. He throws a jab, he gets right back into defense real quick. He's sharp with his shots as well. So I've been watching that Leo. I watched his fights. I'm very impressed by him. I've been watching Tank's fight, and I can see some deficiencies in Tank's game. And the pace at which Tank likes to fight at, you can't do that. Leo's not going to allow you to go that pace. You're going to have to slow it down, like Floyd was telling Tank. I can see why Floyd is concerned. Because this is not going to be an easy fight. I'm telling y'all now, for Tank. It's not going to be an easy fight for Tank. Tank going to have to come with something else. And if Tank is relying on his power to win this fight, he going to lose. I'm telling y'all. A lot of people saying, oh, Tank will get Leo out of there in 6 rounds. This is not that kind of fight. Leo is not that kind of fighter. And I can guarantee you, Leo has the tools to pull up the win in this fight. By unanimous decision. Okay, and if Tank is not on his A game, he might stop him late. Leo, Santa Cruz. There's a reason Leo picked out Tank. There's a reason Leo picked out Tank. And I'm seeing it now. Now, Tank is very skilled, no doubt about that. We'll find a way to win because I'm pretty sure he's competitive, knows this is a step-up fight, is taking it seriously as he should. But he and his corner and his team and also Coach Calvin need to understand Leo's going nowhere in this fight. He's prepared for whatever Tank brings. And I'm telling you, he's going to use his defense and stuff. But on top of that, Leo's got a chin. And he tucks his chin. Leo does everything right. He keeps that chin tucked deep into his chest. When Leo's attacking or approaching, he's fundamentally sound. Leo's a fundamentally sound fighter who fights Mexican style. Leo is the creme de la creme, bro, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all may not realize this, but Leo is a problem. Leo is a problem. And Tank is going up against a problem. He doesn't know it yet, but he better take Leo seriously. Okay, now some people talking about Leo shaking his right hand. Every now and then he shakes his right hand. I don't know why he does that. To be honest with you, it does signal that maybe he wants to throw it, but I mean, that's reaching for it. You know what I mean? Because Leo still do what he do. And Leo's going to investigate Tank, and he's going to gather his intel on Tank while Tank is gathering his intel on Leo. Okay? Barring some miracle, Tank knocks out Leo in the first, second, and third rounds. I say miracle because Leo has good defense, and he's going to be bigger and stronger than he's ever been in his career. I can guarantee you that. And he's solid. When I tell you he's defensively solid, shit, this reminds me of Julio Cesar Chavez versus Roger Mayweather right now. That's the kind of fight I'm talking about that we're about to see. That's the fight we're about to see. Excuse me. I don't think you guys realize just how serious this is. Tank versus Leo. Mayweather should be concerned. He should be concerned. He should be concerned. He should be concerned. I'm going to just say that. A lot of y'all get caught up in Tank, but Tank fight at a certain pace. And if Tank don't do certain things in that fight, if he just go in there trying to bully Leo, if he's not trying to box and pace Leo and get Leo to slow down, if he don't get Leo to slow down, if this fight go at Leo's pace, if this fight is Leo's tempo, Leo's gonna take this fight. Tank is going to need to slow Leo down. I remember Floyd. I remember Floyd talking to Tank about all these things and suggesting them to Tank. You need to slow down the pace of the fight. This is a guy who's going to bring it. And Tank, I hope Tank understands what it is he has to do. Because if he cannot operate at the pace that Leo is going at, I'm telling you now, he's going to have to be first, and he's going to have to establish the pace from the beginning, from the jump. And he's going to have to establish who's in control. Another thing Tank is, he's left hand happy. You know, he's left hand happy. You know what I'm saying? Now, I understand that at a southpaw, you use the left hand a lot with orthodox fighters, but you can't just have one hand against Leo. It's not going to work. If he just has to look out for the left hand and right hook, that's not enough to stop him. So I'm just saying a couple of things one time. I'm letting everybody know right now what kind of fight we're looking at. Everybody hyping up Tank. He's going to stop him in this round. He's going to stop him. He ain't stopping shit. He not stopping shit. This is a fight that goes the distance. All right. Gamboa would have gone the distance if the referee had let Gamboa get back up. That fight was going the distance with Gamboa. Okay. So I'm just saying that right now for everybody to understand where I stand with this Tank versus Lee. I'm gonna let y'all guys know when I see the weigh-in. I'm gonna see what kind of person Tank look like on the weigh-in. I'll be able to give my full assessment, and then also, and I don't care if Tank's sparring bigger guys and all of that. That has nothing to do with it. The fight is going to be determined by pace, and the fight is going to be determined by activity. That's what this fight is going to be determined by. And Leo Santa Cruz can set a really, really fast pace. If you blink twice, Leo Santa Cruz gonna have you going. He'll take the momentum out of y'all fight, and he'll take over because he's a pressure fighter. That's what Leo do. He bring the heat. He'll do it smart against Tank. He'll assess Tank first and whatever. Tank will have a moment probably, or maybe not. Maybe he won't. Maybe Leo's immediately start dictating with his jab because he's the longer guy. He's the taller guy. So if Leo decides to come out there and dictate from round one, and Tank doesn't have a game plan to deal with that and to slow that down, to control that, if Tank don't fight smart, if Tank isn't boxing, and I don't care if you boxing, you could be a great boxer, but you're not a smart boxer. You know what I'm saying? You depend on your power or whatever. Tank needs to box, and he needs to box very, very well. He needs to box smart. I'm telling you, man, Leo's not a guy you slip up on. I've been watching Leo, and Leo fundamentally sound in every single area. He gets hit with shots, but it's not like they're the money punches. He don't get hit with money punches. I'm telling y'all, man, this is not going to be what you think it's going to be. If y'all think it's going to be just a coronation attack, no, this is going to be quite a fight. Quite a fight. I guarantee you, Leo's going to give y'all a hell of a fight. And whoever wins, I'm not going to pick who wins right now. I'll wait till up to the time. But from what I've seen from footage and stuff, Leo got a lot of tools. A lot of tools. Okay? So hopefully Tank is prepared for that. He's going to have to try and dictate the pace. That's going to be very hard to do against Leo. Leo's a guy, you're going to have to, shit. Leo's a guy, and maybe if Leo feels the heat on his gloves from Tank, but again, like I'm saying, I'm not trying to get people to underestimate Tank or anything like that. Tank is not really a power puncher like that. He come from the school with timing and quickness and speed breeds power. And Tank does put all his weight behind his punches, but he's not a Gennady Golovkin. He's not a Sergey Kovalev. He don't have that bone crushing power. He got that split second explosive power, like Tio. Like Ryan Garcia. The speed, the sharpness, the accuracy, and the timing and the placement is what makes these guys really powerful punchers. Kind of like Deontay Wilder to some degree. That's the same thing Deontay Wilder depends on. Even though Wilder got seems as though very, very heavy density bone mass as well that goes with that. But Foreman and Schaefer's and Golovkin and Kovalov, they got bone density, so they don't have to throw it so hard, throw it fast, hard enough. It's like hitting a brick wall. Boom. Felix Trinidad, but he had a little bit of quickness and speed in his shots. You got heavy bone density. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with Tank versus Leo. That's gonna be a hell of a fight, though. That's gonna be a hell of a fight. They're gonna be to and fro. He's definitely gonna be tested by Leo. Definitely gonna be tested by Leo. But if Tank can control the pace of the fight, if he can control the pace of the fight, that's the key. That'll make the fight easier for him. It's still not gonna be an easy fight, but because he's an exciting fighter, no doubt about it. He got explosive bang for his punch, but you gotta do more than just that against Leo. This is an elite top tier fighter. And I don't care if they say he come up from bantamweight. I'm telling y'all now, he gonna be ready for Tank. He gonna be ready to rumble. He's always been ready to rumble. And if he picked out Tank, oh, he saw what we saw. He not a high throughput. Tank's not a high throughput, and he feels if he pushes the pace on Tank, he gonna get him. He gonna get that decision because he got the volume, and he's thinking probably that Tank's defense is not as solid and dependable as his defense. Tank won't have to move and dip and roll and all that stuff where Leo's just going to just block, and he can just keep coming. He don't have to expend a whole lot of energy on defense because his defense is simple. So these are just different things for people to think about. Definitely Leo has incredible conditioning. We'll see how Tank manages that. I hope Tank has some infighting skills as well, because Leo's gonna close that gap, and then they're gonna have to duke it out on the inside. So I hope Tank is ready for this, because Leo's a whole different ball game of fighter, and he Mexican, so he gonna be bringing it. He gonna bring the heat from round 1 to round 12, and he's only gonna pick up more speed and tempo as the fight goes along. So I hope Tank is ready for that. I've seen Tank handle guys kind of like Leo, but not like Leo. He did it against the Argentine kid. I forgot what his name is. Cesar something. Who was a former featherweight champ. Abner Mars was supposed to fight him. Abner Mars versus Tank would have been a good fight as well. This fight is still in my mind a 50-50 fight. I see a lot of things Leo can do and exploit on Tank. And Tank's going to need his defense on this fight. And his defense must not let him down. He shouldn't even allow Leo to touch him with one single punch even. And I know Tank can fight through every situation. Tank always been fighting since he's a kid. So it kind of goes without saying. Tank can fight, but it's still something where it's just not an easy fight. A lot of people are underestimating Leo Santa Cruz. I don't know why they would do something stupid like that. And the fact that Tank is going down to 130, in my personal opinion, is another reason why this fight could swing in Leo's favor, because Tank going down to 130 is, while you probably could get the best Tank, you're also going to lose some power in the process. He's going to lose some power in the process, and they're trying to preserve that power. And he's been at 135, probably now he's 5 pounds within the limit. Once he makes weight, that's a good hooray for him, and that's not a good sign that we have to raid that he's making weight. You understand what I'm saying? See, this is the problem with Tank, and I think a lot of people have said this. Tank is not very disciplined, and that's what is going to take away, and that's why Leo has a big advantage. If Tank was a guy who is a well-conditioned athlete year round, we wouldn't be having this conversation, because we know he wouldn't slow down, and he would be able to have the power output to do whatever he has to do all 12 rounds. I can't say that. I hope he's been pushed hard in sparring. I hope. It's not about size right now. It's about tempo. It's about speed. It's about pace. And Tank need to be pushed to the max, like pushed. If the pacing needs to be pushed, and he has to be able to control that pacing. He has to be the guy that's in control in that fight, and that's gonna be hard to do with a guy that's not giving you much to hit. He just has a little lapses where he's throwing a punch and you catch him while he's throwing a punch. But for the most part, he's not showing you much. He's protecting his body particularly, and that's what Tank gets most of his opponents out of there. He starts with the body and then goes up top. So if Tank can't find those shots at the body, he has to now create the shots. He's going to have to bait and counter. He's going to have to be a smart guy. He's going to have to set traps. He's going to have to do things to get Leo out of that peekaboo defense, out of that shell defense. He should have studied Bernard Hopkins versus Winky Wright, for example, because you got to be innovative and creative now to get this guy to come out of his turtle shell as he comes to you. That's a very difficult style Leo Santa Cruz has. Very difficult defensive style because he's always in that turtle shell and he's walking to you. You got to get the turtle come out the shell, which means you got to fight a much smarter fight than you ever did before. And you're going to have to use those feet. So I don't know if Tank can deal with that style, because basically the Mexican style that Leo is employing is a Winky Wright kind of style, is a Joshua Clottey kind of style, is a trying to remember other guys who have that high shell defense like that. So Leo really is bringing to the table a lot of stuff, and a lot of people just don't understand that. And people have actually overlooked Leo. Leo's a tougher opponent, I would say, for Tank, maybe even than Lomachenko would be. I don't know. I may be talking on my ass. Lomachenko's also a very well-conditioned athlete. But this is an interesting fight, folks. If you haven't realized it by now, it's an interesting fight. You know, it's an interesting fight for Tank. So we're going to see how prepared he really was. You know, he was still doing the fat camp thing, because you saw him in the outfit. There's a fat camp outfit. So he's still doing the fat camp thing. Man, this is a good fight. This is a good fight. I think a lot of y'all fight fans are going for a treat. And who knows who will win this fight? I don't know who will win. It's going to be exciting. That's what I can tell you. I know Tank don't have a bone in his body that makes him quit. So he going to fight all the way through. It's going to be action-packed. The question is, who will win? I don't know. I honestly don't know. There's a reason Leo picked out Tank. And the reason is he realized that Tank fight at a certain pace. And he going to push the pace on him. He going to test his power to make sure, okay, can I go in? Can I do this? Can I do that? He going to test his power. If he had to fight from the outside, Leo ain't have a problem fighting from the outside. The question is, can Tank close the distance? Is he going to be explosive closing the distance? Is he going to bob and weave? Is he going to try and get under him? How much energy is Tank going to be expending doing that? So these are all questions we will find out very soon. But what I can tell you is Leo belongs in the ring with Tank, so don't expect Tank to just blitz Leo out of there like he did Yuriorkis Gamboa, who ain't got that kind of defense, okay? So that's all I got to say for now about Tank versus Leo. A lot of people overlook Leo, and I'm seeing it, man. This could be an upset in the making if Tank is not careful. Tank better know what he's doing. But I would say this. If Tank has a little fear in his heart, meaning he's a little bit nervous, that's good. So if he got the nervousness, they put in all the work. They did all the work they were supposed to do, hopefully. His thing now is to chill out, relax, make weight, okay? And I'm going to say this. I like both fighters. So may the best man win, okay? No excuses again. And I'm going to talk more about this fight and how this fight could go down. But this is an interesting fight, period. It's an interesting fight, and we'll see how things pan out with this fight. I can't say. It's the first pay-per-view. It's going to be exciting. I'm going to talk to you guys a bit later about Alexander Usyk versus Derek Chisora. That's an interesting fight in and of itself for specific reasons. You guys know what it is again. Can Usyk deal with the heavyweights? This is a really good heavyweight to deal with. And seems as though Chisora, from what I'm seeing, well, we will see. I'm going to talk more about that in a later time, all right? I'm what you need. Hope you guys have a good one. Peace. I'm out.